So, Rick, you want to talk about why you would want to rent equipment for the day or hire a crew versus buying a bunch of gear that you got to store and learn how to use.
Right. So I don't own a drone. I'm a gear guy, and I don't own a drone. A couple of years ago when drones first came out, I thought, oh, I got to get one of those. And I almost did. And then I thought, in 6 months, the next one's going to come out.
Right.
And then in 6 months, the next one's going to come
This is
out.
the problem with gear.
And so I never bought a drone. But I've hired people with drones to come out for the day. But you know what I saved? While they may have cost a few $100s to hire the drone person, what I saved was the 10, 20, 30 hours of learning to fly it, the hours of charging batteries, the picking it up, the gluing it back together when it crashed the first few times, because that happens.
The losing it in the sea, because that happens.
I saved all these headaches by not actually buying it. And it changes. You know, when they first came out, there was this, and now there's this, and now there's this, and which one do you really get? And you know, the camera that goes on the drone is one thing. Flying the drone is a whole different skill. And that my skill set is not a drone operator.
Right.
My skill set is directing people to be the best they can be on camera.
Right. Very important distinction.
So I hire people. I'm doing a shoot a couple of days from now, and we've hired a cameraman. He's got a drone. Look at that.
Perfect.
He's got a 3-axis gimbal stabilizer. He's got, a camera that fits on these things. And he knows how to use them. I could learn, but that's not my sweet spot. That's not my whatever you want to call it.
Not your zone of genius. Your zone of genius is directing people to be their best on camera.
Right.
You're really good at that.
So when we talk about renting or hiring, hire the guy that's got the gear. If you hire the camera guy, I'm hiring this camera guy for Friday, and I won't tell you what I'm paying him, but he's got $10,000 worth of gear. I can tell you I'm not paying him nowhere near a tenth of what he's got invested in his gear. And I'm not paying him for the hours he's had to learn to use all this gear.
Yeah, because that's unbillable time, learning to use the gear.
Right. So hire what you need. There's a reason that Pepsi doesn't have a commercial division that they shoot their national TV spots for. They hire an agency. The agency doesn't have a division that shoots the Pepsi spots. They outsource it to a production company.
Right.
The production company doesn't have in-house people. They hire everybody on a per-job basis.
Which is what you did for so many years.
Right. I mean, I was one of the end-of-the-line people for the production houses, but I worked with the directors in the same production houses over and over. And I also had regular accounts. I had accounts with like Hallmark and Pepsi and McDonald's and I can't even think of the other ones. But when they would hire the production company, they would suggest, they didn't mandate, but they would suggest to hire Rick because I already knew their inventory and their product for certain things. So that's a different way, but they still outsource all that.
Right.
So outsourcing is good. Outsourcing saves you time. Outsourcing saves you money at the end. So there was one day we were moving and we were having a garage sale. And
This is back in Pennsylvania, and you have this really expensive piece of gear, because gear gets outdated.
words to live by.
Outdated gear. It goes
So-
like that.
I used to have this underwater, because I don't have it anymore, this underwater housing for a camera that I bought in like 1992. At the time, I paid a couple $1,000s for this housing and another $1,000 probably for the lights to go on it. Now, I did a lot of diving. I shot a lot of underwater footage. But what happened?
It was very painful for him, but it was out of date. Nobody wanted it. It was this big. Am I on the camera? It was like
Yeah.
this. Well, it was not this big. It was
Yeah, let
out
me
of the
move out of
camera
the way.
shot. I mean, it was huge, and it was clunky. You could imagine. I mean, from 1992. So, what do you think happened to it?
It wasn't even a good doorstop because it was too big to let anybody walk in the door if you propped the door open.
Yeah.
So, picked it up off the floor when nobody bought it at the garage sale, which I was devastated by, and it went in the trash can. Did I get my money's worth out of it? I don't know. I enjoyed diving with it, but it hurt. I mean, it physically hurt to throw that away, that gear. And it was at that point, that was right about the time I was thinking about getting the drone. I'm sure that had a lot to do with
Yeah, I know that's why you didn't get the drone.
me getting the drone, because it's like, because I've now kind of stopped buying gear and I've started hiring instead. And I'm having more fun and saving money.
Right,
So
and it makes sense.
at the end of the day, don't feel like you have to do it all yourself. Hire the right people, get the right job done. They make it easier, simpler, and it comes out better in the end.
Yeah, and then you can do what you do best.
Right. So, more videos like this, join the group. What's the group?
bit.com/SBV group.
In case you didn't hear that, that's bit.ly.com/SPV group. And yes, I'm leaning forward, so this very expensive microphone that I had to have one day can record this.
Yes, and that stands for Shoot Better Video, so SBV.
Shoot better video. bit.ly/SPV group. All right, join the group. I'll see you there.